You ever just sit down on a Sunday, turn on football, and realize it doesn't feel the same anymore? Like, yes, it's still the NFL, the helmets, the noise, the chaos, but the soul of it, it feels different. Now, change is not inherently a bad thing, but the direction the league is taking has undeniably, deeply, and dramatically altered the way we watch, experience, and feel about the game we all love. There was a time when Sunday felt sacred. You woke up, handled your business for the day, made some food, threw on your jersey, and that was it. You had one screen, one game, and 3.5 hours of up and down fun. Now, if your living room doesn't look like you're sitting in the middle of a NASA control center with constant notifications ringing off and a minimum of 3 screens going at once, you're an outlier. This is the first of 3 dramatic shifts we've seen that has completely altered and led to the death of the modern NFL fan. Problem number 1 that kicked off this shift is the overstimulation era. There are simply too many damn options for things to watch, view, and do during game days. You've got Red Zone on the TV. You've got instant Twitter memes and TikTok live reactions in the palm of your hand. You have the actual game to watch of your favorite team. You have fantasy football being tracked on your computer, and you can't stop sweating because you're worried your 10-leg parlay may not hit. I've personally gotten to a point where it doesn't even feel like I'm watching football anymore. It feels like a full-time job where all I do is manage it. Every play, every stat, every meme, every update, all happening at once. It's like football developed ADHD and took us down with it. You can't even celebrate a touchdown before you have to check your 3 fantasy leagues and $100 parlay to see how your favorite wide receiver on the team that you've loved since you were a wee little lad getting a touchdown may or may not have negatively impacted you. Now, I'm not saying this can't be fun or isn't adrenaline inducing, but taking a step back, it's hard to ignore that the pure amount of content and ways in which we consume it during game day has completely shifted the way by which we experience the NFL as fans. Because at some point, all that stimulation stops feeling exciting and starts feeling a little bit numb. You've seen every game, every angle, every highlight, and somehow none of them feel all that special anymore. We used to live through the highs and lows of a single game. Now, we just scroll through everyone else's chaos all at once. And that's the problem in my mind. It's that the NFL didn't just fill our Sundays. It has completely flooded them, and we didn't even notice when watching football turned from being a loyal diehard fan into chasing dopamine through whatever avenue is available to us. But admittedly, that's not even the worst of it, because arguably the even bigger impact came with the recent rise of fantasy and football gambling. You see, the NFL didn't just flood our Sundays. It started charging admission. I mean, it already did that, but bear with me. Because now being a fan isn't enough. You need skin in the game. Literal, financial, stomach-turning skin. And what blows my mind is how fast all of this happened. Sports betting on the NFL wasn't even legal until 2018. Literally 7 years ago. The same league that used to treat gambling like Voldemort is now running ads mid-drive telling you to bet the over on rushing yards and giving 5 different promo codes to encourage you to spend your last $100 for the week in order to earn 25 free dollars in bonus cash. We used to watch football for pride, for bragging rights, maybe for the remote chance our team would finally do something worth the merchandise that we spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on each and every year. But now, thanks to the legalization of gambling, we're more busy checking stock portfolios disguised as fantasy teams as opposed to staying focused on the status of our own beloved franchise. With that being said though, allow me to be clear. This is not a finger wag moment on how gambling is bad. Personally, I don't really care. Do what you want. I've even gambled myself. I just really suck at it, so I choose not to anymore. But my broader point is the legalization of gambling has created a dramatic shift in the way most fans watch the game today. And I'll explain why. You see, the second you place any amount of money down on a bet, your priority and level of investment in your favorite team has just been split. You end up emotionally and financially invested in a guy or a team that in theory you should hate because he is a direct rival rival of the franchise you grew up loving. And some of you may think, well, that's why I only bet on my own team. And I'd counter and ask you this: is it truly watching football in its truest form, like back when you were a kid with not even a penny to spare, or the legal ability to place a bet if you're hoping the ball goes to a certain player the whole time, or needing your team to score a certain amount of points instead of just simply winning by any means? The reality is, every fan involved in the gambling market has turned into a part-time Wall Street analyst, talking about value and expected returns like they're managing hedge funds instead of watching a bunch of dudes in pads chase a ball. You don't just lose a game, you lose rent money and potentially your will to live. Your emotions are pegged to a live odds tracker like a heart rate monitor. And look, I get it. It is fun. It can have the ability to make meaningless games matter, but it also rewired why we care. We don't watch for the story or the team anymore. Every touchdown is a potential payout. Every interception, a fiscal tragedy. At some point, we stopped saying we won the game and started saying I covered my bets. The NFL didn't just sell us entertainment, it sold us engagement. It found a way to monetize our emotions more than it already had. Our rage, our hope, our delusion, all packaged neatly into a same game parlay. And lastly, but certainly not least, is the death of the physical defense. I need to be careful, and I should preface this section at risk of sounding absolutely insane and like I don't care about player safety, because I do. Football used to be dangerous. I mean, like really dangerous. You could feel the hits through the screen. The crowd would gasp, helmets would fly, QBs would get carted off the field and be back out there 2 plays later. It was absolutely crazy. It was wild, and it was also really entertaining. Now, the game has slowly turned into an offensive-driven league with playbooks riddled with quick screens, prayers of downfield PIs, and tush-push red zone drives. Defensive players sneeze near the quarterback and the refs throw a flag. The league dishes out a fine and they force the player to make a written apology for their wrongdoings. There used to be endless reels of the hardest hits of the week. Now it's gentle hugs of the quarter. I can't remember the last time I saw a hit that made me viscerally react out of pure shock as to how hard a QB or wide receiver was hit, because defenders are simply, more often than not, scared to hit hard now. James Harrison used to change games because of how afraid QBs were of playing against him. In today's league, he'd be arrested by halftime. Troy Polamalu would have lasted 6 minutes before Roger Goodell personally escorted him out of the stadium, and players like Brian Dawkins would be an international superstar playing rugby. I get it. It's safer. It had to change. Concussions were ruining lives. Players deserve protection. But it has clearly created a new version of football. Whether it's the change in the kickoff rules, roughing the passer calls, defenseless receivers, the impact is obvious, and it's changed the style of the game dramatically. Now, football feels managed. It's clean, it's smart, it's efficient, but it doesn't hit the same, literally or emotionally. The NFL didn't just change how we watch the game, it changed what the game is. Safer? Absolutely. Better? I don't know. Things change all the time, I get that. Sometimes for the wrong reasons, sometimes for the right reasons. With football, we found ways to monetize it, stream it, and some might even say sanitize it. But all that being said, we'll still be here every Sunday, screaming, scrolling, betting, hoping, because at the end of the day, we're all just diehard fans. But let me sign off with asking you this. Could it also be that we are addicts chasing the high of a game that'll never feel the same again? Let me know what you think. How has football changed for you over the last 5 or so years? Does it feel the same as when you first got indoctrinated into this beautiful, controversial league? Or do you too feel like what it means to be an NFL fan has changed forever? Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share it around, as it helps me out a ton. And until next time, peace out.